Tammy, for bringing up our presentation. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you today. And thank you for this opportunity to share two positions that we've created to support the fee schedule. The first one that our team is going to be discussing today is the Insurance Audit Specialist. And then the second one is the Quality Support Supervisor. And we created these positions specifically to support the fee schedule. And we worked really hard in making sure that these two positions would really fit our needs. A lot of times, what we found ourselves doing is trying to make a position that already existed within our organization work for us. But we found with these two particular positions that wasn't going to work. And so that we really needed something that would specifically address our needs. Because a lot of times what we faced is when we make a position fit into something that we already have, it's subject to bumping and those types of things. And so you invest a lot in training and then may lose that position. And so we made these absolutely specific to meet our needs. And then we also wanted to create sustainability with these two positions. And so we have our Nisa and Donald are going to share the two positions with you today. And I know Tammy also has a little bit to add too.
Yeah, and we just want to kind of share, as a COE, what we did was moving forward with the capacity and the fee schedule dollars. We created a consortium for our LEAs to opt into if they chose. And a lot of our small and medium did choose to go under our consortium. And so today you're going to hear from Donald and Arnisa on how we're able to move forward and help assist our single school districts or our small medium schools, districts in supporting the fee schedule for their eligible practitioners and how they're able to bill. So I'll pass it to Arnisa.
Thank you, Tammy. I'm Arnisa Williams, the Financial Service Supervisor for our All for Youth program. When we began to develop the insurance audit position, we really wanted to model something that we had in FCSS on the fiscal side, but the specialty needed to be the revenue management process. And so that person needed to have at least a degree or a background in healthcare administration. And so once we got the position, there were 5 key areas that we wanted to make sure that position would support. If you can go to the next slide.
We're here?
Yes, right there.
Perfect.
So in those areas are highlighted here. One was to protect funding, and that was to ensure claims are billed correctly so the program receives all reimbursements it's entitled to. So that meant the insurance verification, the rosters, the provider management and availability, and then just making sure that we were capturing all the codes and procedures correctly. Another area that this position that we when we began to develop the position and the key area that it would support is improves areas of efficiency. So monitoring practitioners and billing vendors, the billing vendor to streamline processes and reduce delays in areas. And so that was modeled after a key performance indicators, making sure claims were paid, that we had denial analysis, that it was a net collection rate, how much did we really put in the system and how much did we collect, that we had a full account receivable process, an aging process, how long was it going to take for us to get paid, and then a lag report from the time we entered to the time it billed to payment. Did we have a system in place that person would monitor that for us? Another area of support was to strengthen compliance, and that was to keep the program in line with the insurance state and federal requirements, preventing penalties and repayment issues. And I know, although the program is very unique, because we have been, our All for Youth had a contract in other areas to provide mental health services, just some of the things that we've learned dealing with insurances. We wanted to be proactive and have someone to support us for things to come down the line. So using the correct CPT codes, time-based to service-based, the right diagnosis codes, and just have someone that would be a liaison between the schools and our behavioral health program. That was very important. Another area was to provide insight to our management team. You know, the uniqueness of what we do is a lot of times in schools, it follows traditional models. And so having someone with that piece that was able to, that have worked in private industry and familiar with that was very important. So we created things like productivity report to ensure our practitioners met their productivity goals. Denial management, so that way we would know what was getting denied and implement an action plan quickly. And then just revenue to expenses, because it's not a traditional school program and it's completely funded by what we do in the program. We wanted to make sure that there were no surprises. And so we wanted to make sure that we were meeting the goals of what was the cost was in the program. And ultimately, this insurance audit specialist position was to support sustainability by optimizing the revenue cycle. The role keeps the program financially healthy, which means services can continue and expand, and our resources stay focused on serving students and family. So that's where we are with our insurance audit position, and it's still being developed as we now are gearing up to provide more services throughout the county. And with that, I'll pass it over to Donald.
Thank you, Arnisa. My name is Donald Turnemeyer. I'm one of the program supervisors here with All for Youth, and I will be talking a little bit about our Quality Support Supervisor. If we can go to the next slide. Perfect. So one of the things that we wanted to make sure our Quality Support Supervisor had any history in was really related to any developmental implementation and maintenance of policies and procedures covering privacy and access to patient health information. But we also wanted to make sure that this person also had experience with quality control standards for services, with making sure that we're in compliance with HIPAA and FERPA laws, documentation, and all those different services that come with now CYBHI. So one of the things that our Quality Support Supervisor manages and did with CYBHI was develop and refine treatment. One of the things they were looking at too was the different kind of billing sources that we can do, and also created consent forms to ensure that all the COEs and LEAs that had joined our consortium were in compliance with what insurance companies are looking for, and also what it falls under HIPAA and FERPA regulations. One of the other things that the Quality Support Supervisor is supporting the program in is they are going out and training the LEAs on the different documentation styles that comes with this, and the standards as well with the documentation, but also creating different audit tools to strengthen billing accuracy and accountability, just to make sure that we are doing what we need, our checks and balances, to make sure that all the documentation that comes with the billing side of it is also, in good standing. One of the other things that the Quality Support Supervisor is also ensuring is that they are providing the EHR training, and we'll talk about the EHR after this slide here. The EHR training and guidance on the different scopes of services. So as you know, with the CYBHI, there is a long list of different scopes of services that all the eligible practitioners can bill into. So one of the things that the Quality Support Supervisor is doing is training those staff on the different kinds of scopes of services that they can bill into, the different kind of procedure codes that they can, and also looking at the different reimbursement rates for the eligible practitioners as well. And then the last thing here is also supporting the LEAs with billing documentation, consents, different ROIs. ROIs are releases of information, and then staff enrollment on the SPI to promote consistency and operational efficiency across all different programs. So if we go to the next slide, non-IEP SAFE. So this is the EHR system that we've actually used for our consortium. So what we're doing is we're going into all the schools and we're onboarding the schools, training them on how to operate this non-IEP SAFE side of it. And then within that, we're also training them how to document their billing. And then on the SAFE side, they are helping us facilitate the billing and claims process with that non-IEP SAFE. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Any questions?